Stars and the solar system. Introduction. Sky when looked at either in the night or in the day is beautiful, isn't it? But what makes it so? It is because of the thousands of objects present in the sky. The objects are the stars, the moon, the planets, the sun, the constellations, and many other things. Sun, the star. All the objects that we mentioned are not visible in the daylight. Why is that so? It is not because these objects are not present in the sky, but it is because the sun's light is so bright that it makes all the other things invisible to our eyes. This even after sun being nearly 150 million kilometers away from the Earth. Thus, since sun emits light, it is also a star. The next star closest to Earth is Alpha Centauri. The star is at a distance of about 40 trillion kilometers from the Earth. Such large distances are expressed in another unit called the light year. It is the distance travelled by light in 1 year. The speed of light is about 300,000 kilometers per second. Thus, the distance between the sun and the Earth can be said about 8 light minutes, while for Alpha Centauri it is about 4.3 light years. The stars. Since stars are not visible during daytime, apart from the sun, let us look at them during the night. When we observe stars in the night for a long period of time, what do we find? We find that the stars appear to move from east to the west. This is because the Earth rotates from west to east on its axis. However, there is a star that does not move from its place. This is so because it is situated in the direction of the Earth's axis. The star is called the pole star. Constellations. When looking at the sky for a long period of time, we may observe many stars that lie in the same line or create some kind of pattern when looked at in a particular manner. Thus, stars that form a group having a recognizable shape is called a constellation. Constellations were devised during olden times to be able to recognize the various stars in the sky. The shapes of the constellations were similar to the objects that were familiar to people. There are various constellations present, such as Ursa Major or Great Bear, Orion, Cassiopeia. Let us understand each of these constellations briefly. Ursa Major, the Great Bear. Ursa Major is one of the most famous constellations. It is also known as Great Bear or Big Dipper or Saptarishi. It can be seen during the summer in the early part of the night. This constellation has 7 prominent stars. It looks like a big ladle or a question mark. There are 3 stars in the handle of the ladle and 4 in its bowl. Now, if we take the last 2 stars of the Great Bear and pass a straight line towards the north direction, the line leads to a star called the pole star. The star is not too bright. If seen clearly, all stars appear to move around the pole star. A note. Pole star is not visible from the southern hemisphere. Also, Some constellations, like the Ursa Major, may not be visible from some points in the southern hemisphere. Orion. Orion is another well-known constellation. It is visible in the winter during late evenings. It consists of 7 or 8 bright stars. It is also known as Hunter. The 3 stars in the center represent the belt of the Hunter. The 4 bright stars appear to be arranged in the form of a quadrilateral. This constellation is considered to be one of the magnificent constellations in the sky. The brightest star, Sirius, is located close to Orion. Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is another prominent constellation in the northern sky. It can be seen during winter in the early part of the night. It looks like a distorted letter W or M. Did you know a constellation does not consist of only 5 to 10 stars? It has countless stars. However, we are not able to see them with our naked eyes. Thus, all the stars that make up the constellation are not in the same distance. They just appear to be in the same line of sight in the sky. Summary. Sky consists of thousands of objects. The objects are the stars, the moon, the planets, the sun, the constellations, and many other things. The objects that are not visible in the daylight are because the light of the sun is very bright. The sun is approximately 150 million kilometers away from the Earth. The closest star to the Earth after the sun is Alpha Centauri. A light year is a unit of length that is used informally to express astronomical or large distances. The star that doesn't appear to move is the polar star. Option: pole star. It is because it is situated in the direction of the Earth's axis. Stars that form a group having a recognizable shape is called a constellation. Ursa Major or Great Bear, Orion, Cassiopeia are the major constellations. Ursa Major is one of the most famous constellations. It is also known as Great Bear or Big Dipper or Saptarishi. It looks like a big ladle or a question mark. Orion is another well-known constellation. It consists of 7 or 8 bright stars. It is also known as Hunter. The brightest star, Sirius, is located close to Orion. Cassiopeia is another prominent constellation in the northern sky. It looks like a distorted letter W or M.